The story starts with a man who is probably in his late 40s and is the leader of an unidentified organization. He is meeting with the right-hand man of another organization's leader to make a deal for some jewelry. The right-hand man looks at the jewelry that the man's associate has brought and then ends the meeting after quickly inspecting it. As they leave the meeting place, Rei, who is pretending to be a delivery man wearing a tinted helmet, follows them out of the building on the signal of Kazuki, who is on the phone with him. While Rei is following the group, he drops his delivery bag and reveals that a tire punctured inside it, causing a small accident when the boss's driver suddenly stops. When they arrived at a warehouse in a remote area, far from people in the city, they thought they had escaped from Rei's chase. But they were surprised to see him standing there, waiting for them at the same warehouse, where Kazuki had tricked them into coming there. Kazuki shoots the boss's accomplice and then proceeds to approach and catch the boss. Kazuki and Rei are currently holding the boss captive to get important information from him. The boss gives them his phone and tells them that he got his order there. At the same time, Kazuki is trying to find out where he had managed to smuggle the jewelry he had brought to the meeting. But suddenly, he gets interrupted by a call from a woman on his phone. The woman tells him that Miri seems to be sick. As a result, Kazuki and Rei get into an argument because Rei didn't tell Kazuki that Miri was ill. In the end, Rei kills the boss who interrupted their conversation and rushed to Miri. The scene changes to a few months ago during the holiday season. Kazuki has just returned from spending the night with Nakao-chai, who works for their next target, Hayami Atsuhi. When he arrives at his own house, he finds his friend Rei sitting on the couch, playing a game and looking restless. Kazuki notices that Rei has brought home another stray cat but isn't taking care of it properly, just buying boxes of cat food for it. Kazuki decides it's best to leave the cat outside where Rei found it and return home. Kazuki began his daily tasks by cleaning, making dinner, and doing laundry throughout the house. As they sat down to eat, Kazuki noticed that Rei was still upset about him leaving the cat he had brought home outside. Kazuki explained that their job doesn't allow them to bring something into their lives that they can't take care of, and showed a flashback of him touching the belly of a pregnant woman, possibly his ex-wife, while looking very happy. Rei was a bit sad about this explanation but eventually accepted it. Later that night, the two went shopping for resources for their operation. Rei picked up a disguise that looked like Santa Claus while Kazuki went to the food section to get ingredients to make a cake. The cake will be used as a way to sneak into the event where they want to carry out their plan. Kazuki went to visit Yadarigi, a cafe run by one of their co-workers, Kyutaro Kyugi. He gave Kyutaro a flash drive with information that he had gotten from Nakao-chai, with whom he had spent the night previously. Kyutaro gave Kazuki his and Rei's share of the money from their last job. Kazuki took half of it and gave the other half back to Kyutaro because he wanted to send money to someone, even though that person never takes the money he sends. As Kazuki was leaving, Kyutaro asked him why he won't move on from the past, but Kazuki didn't want to talk about it and just left the cafe. Dorothy and Carol, who were performers and enjoyed playing games, came up to Kazuki while he was walking through the city. They wanted to convince Kazuki to play a game with them, but unfortunately, he lost immediately. As they continued to play, Kazuki lost more and more until he was left standing in just his white sleeveless shirt on a cold winter night, as his jacket had most likely been sold. A young girl, who is 4 years old or younger, travels alone on the train by herself to a specific location to meet her daddy. She's so excited and can't wait to see him. She runs around the area asking people if they've seen him, but they don't know who he is. She feels a little sad, but then she remembers something she saw while exploring the city. She sees a wishing tree and decides to write her wish to see her daddy on it. She closes her eyes tight and makes a wish. She hopes that her daddy will find her soon. Rei and Kazuki come up with a plan to sneak into a Christmas party by pretending to deliver a cake. Kazuki tricks the security guard by pretending to be someone else with the help of Kyutaro, who is on the other side of the line pretending to be the guard's female employer. However, as soon as Kazuki gets into the elevator, Miri runs in after him chasing the cake. Miri thinks Kazuki is Santa and asks him for some cake, which Kazuki agrees to. While eating, she asks Kazuki to help her find her father, and Kazuki agrees. She runs out of the elevator excitedly as soon as the doors open, which alerts the security upstairs. Rei then shoots them both from underneath the cake trolley. Guests quickly leave as Rei heads straight for the target after shooting his way inside the party. Kazuki loses sight of Miri in the chaos and finds out that the person they were targeting has taken her hostage. Rei suggests shooting through Miri to hit the target, but Kazuki worries about her safety. In a moment of desperation, Kazuki calls out, "I'm your papa," and rushes to her aid, using a food tray as a shield from the gunfire. Rei manages to shoot the target's legs, freeing Miri and allowing her to jump into Kazuki's arms. With Miri safe, Rei is able to shoot the target and his guards successfully. After finishing their mission, Kazuki and Rei return to their home with Miri. They gently place her on the couch in the living room, and Rei scolds Kazuki for being able to bring a kid home when he was not given permission to have a cat. To figure out who Miri is, Kazuki looks through her bag and finds some pictures. The photos show that the target they took down at the disrupted Christmas party was actually Miri's biological father. And that's the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this, so I'll see you at the next one.